connecting you to your community. This is Chris 6 News in your neighborhood.
Hey there, happy Monday to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. We've got color on the board here, and these are heat alerts on deck for Tuesday. If you thought today was hot, buckle up. This week is going to be extra spicy. I'll walk you through what you can expect in your neighborhood coming up in just a few.
I'm Jordan Benavidez here at Javelina Stadium, where a local high school athlete is on his way to the Junior Olympics. More on the story coming up.
Some water restrictions could be lifted. Hey everyone, I'm Drew Bishop with some good news to report about our water situation coming up.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Chris 6 News. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. Here's a look at what we have been following across the coastal bend today.
As Drew said from Chris 6, we're back.
Oh yeah, we're back with some good news. Stage 3 water restrictions could be lifted next week. Level 1 water emergency has been pushed until 2028, and the city is working on a temporary stop to the water releases from our reservoirs.
We expect to get into stage 2 beginning soon, maybe this weekend, early next week.
On December 16th, 2024, we entered stage 3 water restrictions. That meant residents were not allowed to water their lawns. But the city manager has announced we could go back to stage 2 water restrictions for the first time in over 18 months.
In stage 2, what we can do is water once every other week. All our community wants to do is water their lawns, right? And so this will certainly let us get to that.
Zanoni can declare the move to stage 2 once our reservoirs are over 30% of combined capacity. In other water restriction news, the projection for level 1 water emergency has been delayed until September of 2028.
The first date that we gave back in April of this year was September of 26. And that's real. That's when we were heading for what could have been a pretty catastrophic event.
Level 1 water emergency would force residents, businesses, and industry to cut water usage by 25%. As I've reported, that was going to be a challenge for everyone. The new projection of September 2028 doesn't even account for water that's expected to flow into Lake Corpus Christi starting this weekend. So the projection could be pushed even further away. And as lake levels are expected to rise, city staff is working on temporarily stopping the agreed order with the state that says we have to release water for environmental reasons.
We've already met with TCEQ, and it would be a temporary reprieve for 4 months. And I think what they can see is that in this drought of record that we're still getting out of, it's been years before we've done any releases, and you can draw conclusions on impacts. We haven't heard of any significant ones.
Well, all of these updates will be discussed at Tuesday's City Council meeting. If stage 3 restrictions are lifted, I'll be sure to update you. Reporting for Chris 6 News, I'm Drew Bishop.
At Monday's water briefing, Drew Bishop also asked the city manager about a scientific difference in opinion over the Far-Field study. It came to light at the June 2nd City Council meeting when Sparrow's environmental group presented a review of their findings on the potential environmental impact of the proposed Inner Harbor desalination project. At that meeting, 3 scientists from the Hart Research Institute, the UT Marine Science Institute, and the Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries said they wanted to review the study to look into potential impact, specifically to marine life. Today, the city manager confirmed those 3 scientists have told him they no longer want to do that study.
So we have to figure out what to do next. And so that'll be the brief to City Council. We're kind of at a standstill. Dr. Hertzka and Matt Wetz were here the night of the presentation. Both were on the committee. They both said they would do this work. Now they're saying they're not going to do it. So we got to figure out what to do next.
City manager says this development will be discussed at Tuesday's City Council meeting.
Hey there, happy Monday to you. We're going to start off with a look at our dog walk forecast brought to you by our friends over at Lion of Utah. Our star for today is Royalty. Princess Bella here loves to go take a walk around Wessex County, and just as this little pumpkin likes to go for a walk, she likes to hang out with pumpkins too, apparently. Well, here's what you need to know if you're going to be taking your 4-legged bestie for a walk. We are looking at a hot evening that's finally starting to temper. We're going to be around 90 degrees still by 6 p.m. for the actual air temperature, meaning the feels like temperature is going to be a little inflated over that. So maybe the shorter walks, unless you're going to hold off till this evening, we still have some humidity around. So shorter walks throughout the clock, throughout the schedule, but at least it'll be easier to enjoy as we head past sunset and into the evening time frame. There will still be a breeze around, and I think at least that helps over the next couple of days. Winds picking up a little bit, but we're not going to be able to escape the heat. We need to check in on the kids, the fur kids, and the elderly folks because they are more susceptible to heat-related illness. We'll talk about it in your forecast ahead.
Monday, the Corpus Christi ISD Board of Trustees will vote to approve more than $3.6 million in contracts to demolish 7 former school campuses. If trustees approve the contracts, Fannin, Castores, Sanders, and Travis Elementary Schools, Brown and Martin Middle Schools, and CIRC, formerly Cunningham at Prescott, would be demolished. According to board documents, the schools were closed as part of the district's campus consolidation plan. The district recommends awarding the work to 4 contractors for a total cost of just over $3.6 million in 2022 bond funds. Demolition is expected to be substantially complete by June 30th of 2027.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jacob Daniels, and a deadly crash in Claybrook County
has left a family mourning the loss of their teenage son. A boat collision on the Laguna Madre in Claybrook County early Saturday morning claimed the life of a local teen. Texas game wardens say it happened around 6:15 in the morning at the Bird Island Basin boat ramp at the Padre Island National Seashore. Investigators say a John boat with 3 people on board collided with a center console boat. The family has since posted about the loss on social media, identifying the victim as 16-year-old Aiden Evers, who was ejected from the John boat during the crash. He did not survive. Friends of the family have also set up GoFundMe pages to help the family with the funeral and other costs. The game warden boat accident reconstruction team is now investigating the incident and trying to determine what may have caused this tragic loss.
For now, this is an ongoing investigation, and game wardens say there are no new details for now. We'll continue to stay on top of it and provide you with any updates as they come. Reporting on the island, I'm Jacob Daniels, Chris 6 News.
A Corpus Christi murder suspect is behind bars after police say he called 911 on himself. Officers arrested 65-year-old Alberto Valdez early Monday morning at a home on Christie Street. New court documents show Valdez told dispatchers he lost it and killed a woman named Elizabeth. Officers found her dead in a hallway and recovered a gun. Inside the home, a neighbor say he heard the gunshots and watched Valdez surrender peacefully. Valdez is now at the city detention center charged with murder.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jordan Benavidez, and I'm here at Javelina Stadium in Kingsville, where a local student athlete is hurtling his way to the Junior Olympics. Tien Duong is a junior at H.M. King High School who recently competed in a regional qualifier for 400-meter hurdles. He went into the race ranked at number 7, with spots in the Junior Olympics only for the top 6. And after placing 3rd, he's on his way to Des Moines, Iowa next week to compete on the national stage.
I'm really glad that I have this opportunity to run and represent our town, the Kingsville community, with pride.
The district recognized Tien in a ceremony on July 21st to congratulate him on his achievement, but he says he's not done yet.
After the race, I feel like I still got some more in me that I just gotta find it. I want to find it in Junior Olympic this upcoming week.
And with the city of Kingsville rallying behind him, Tien says he's grateful for the support, especially from his family.
I mean, I'm really grateful for them. My parents, my coaches, and God, and my grandpa, of course. Without them, I'm not gonna be here where I'm standing at right now. And my dad, like, he always woke up 6 in the morning. I know it's hard to wake up 6 in the morning.
He looks to bring his best to represent his community.
I'm just excited about competing again the best.
The Junior Olympics take place on August 3rd in Iowa. Reporting from Kingsville, I'm Jordan Benavidez, Chris 6 News.
The president of the Shallert Parent-Teacher Association in Alice is under arrest. Alice Police Chief Aiden Garcia says Erica Reeves is charged with theft of property and forgery of a financial instrument. Garcia says Reeves took over a PTA president and was in charge of fundraising and the organization's accounts. Police allege she forged the prior president's name on checks, taking just under $30,000. Garcia says Reeves acted alone and that her husband, an Alice ISD school board member, is not involved. Police are urging anyone who had financial dealings with Reeves to contact the police immediately.
The matriarch of a beloved Corpus Christi restaurant has died at the age of 103. Maxine Snapka passed away peacefully Sunday morning. She and her late husband, Method, opened the first Snapka drive-in in 1948. Her family says she stayed active at the business until the last few months of her life. She loves sharing memories with longtime customers. Her legacy will also live on at Del Mar College. Her family created a culinary scholarship in her name for her 100th birthday. Funeral services for Maxine are currently pending.
We're watching Chris 6, a part of the Scripps News Group.
A former Corpus Christi resident has been searching for some closure since October 24th, 2002. On that day, a powerful storm system spawned 3 tornadoes that hit the city and left Danny Faria Rodriguez facing a life-or-death situation.
It's been nearly 24 years, but Danny Faria Rodriguez still remembers every detail of that day. Back then, Rodriguez operated an airport shuttle service. He was at a Bayfront hotel when he heard a tornado was tearing through the city's west side. He jumped into one of the shuttle service's vehicles and headed towards Leopard Street to get to his family. Rodriguez didn't get very far. Leopard was flooded. Then came the moment that changed his life. He saw a small white car trying to cross Leopard.
And I guess they tried to make it across, and I saw the car. I called my wife and said, man, that car's not going to make it.
He was right. A woman was in a car, and it was starting to float away. With the help of 2 men from a nearby ministry and the crew of an electric company truck, Rodriguez jumped into the flood.
When I got to the car, well, there was 2 toddlers in the back seat. And I grabbed one of the babies out, and that's when these other guys jumped in. But it happened really, really fast. But if they wouldn't have been able to stop the car, these guys were holding the car back, they wouldn't have made it. That power company that came through looked like a white horse in the white night, man, because they just pulled up and we were able to get them, and they just took the children out. They were toddlers. They were just babies.
Today, those babies would be in their 20s.
I mean, God was with us that day.
And now Rodriguez is hoping for another miracle.
I've often wondered, I wonder what happened, with these kids, and I would love to meet you guys if you guys are still living here in Corpus Christi, or the families, if you know anybody, to get in contact with them. Years later have passed, 2 decades, and it would be just closure on my part.
If you have any information on the people that Danny Faria Rodriguez helped rescue, or if you were one of those people, we would love to hear from you. Call us here at Chris TV. The number is 361-886-6100, or send an email to the newsroom at christv.com. Church Unlimited Westside Missions is hosting its annual backpack giveaway this Wednesday. They're handing out 1,000 backpacks filled with school supplies. Families can also get free hygiene products, haircuts, and food pantry services. Doors open at 8:45 in the morning. The giveaway runs from 10 until 1 in the afternoon. It is happening at their campus on Mueller Street in Corpus Christi. The Powerball and Mega Millions jackpot have exploded, and you could be showered with millions beginning tonight. The jackpot for tonight's Powerball drawing has climbed to $633 million. Get yourself some Mega Millions tickets. Also, that jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing is a gigantic $800 million. You're probably wondering what that would add up if one person won both drawings. Well, that combined Powerball and Mega Millions jackpot would be $1.4 billion. Governor Greg Abbott is extending the application period for the new federal workforce Pell extension. It gives Texas colleges more time to submit eligible short-term training programs. The Workforce Pell Grant provides federal financial aid for certificate programs in high-demand careers like healthcare, construction, and technology. More info is available on the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board website. Attorney General Ken Paxton is investigating several popular women brands for toxic chemicals. His office is looking into makers of lip products and tampons. Paxton says some lip balms may contain harmful ingredients and microplastics. He also is investigating reports of dangerous heavy metals in tampons. The state is demanding information from brands like Tampax and Kotex. Investigators want to know if these companies misled consumers about product safety.
Hey there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. As we look at the week ahead, it is going to be hot, and we're saying extra spicy this week. I wanted to give you a little view of the nation, at least the lower 48, and see if you can spot our main weather maker. If your eyes were drawn to the gap of nothingness happening over the Lone Star State, you'd be 100% right. High pressure locked in over Texas means it's going to be hard for us to see rainfall across the state, aside from anyone who's around the periphery, the edge of this bullseye. We're taking things way upstairs in the atmosphere now, showing you the upper level pattern. And the coastal bend, although we may not be exactly in the bullseye throughout the entire duration of this loop that I'm showing you, this forecast, but we are pretty much under a heat dome for the remainder of July, and that is going to mean very minimal rain chances. I'm not saying it's impossible, but minimal rain chances unless the sea breeze can do something impressive for us. It's going to be dry and it's going to be hot with just enough humidity right here at the ground level to make us really feel the heat. And in preparation of that, we already have heat alerts on deck for Tuesday from noon to 7. We are going to be under heat alerts across most of the coastal bend. Here's a look at the actual air temperatures we head through tonight, falling through the 80s. We don't fall very far as we head into the overnight period, just a few upper 70s. With drier conditions for inland neighborhoods, you'll be just a little bit cooler. Might even see a little bit of patchy fog out that way, but let me show you the number that's more important. That feels like temperature heading into your Tuesday. So starting things off in the morning, already going to feel like the 90s on the coast and the upper 80s for most of us before sunrise. Once the sun pops its head up over the horizon, we're off to the races. By 10:30 in the morning, most of us are flirting with the triple digits. Into the afternoon, this is where we could see those middle 100s flirting with the 110s, and that's where things get dangerous. When we expect to be at 110 or hotter for 2 hours or longer, that's where we're going to see those heat alerts on deck, and it's a possibility with temperatures taking their time to come down. We'll show you the 7-day forecast ahead.
Katy Perry is speaking out after one of her biggest songs was used in a White House social media video. The administration posted a TikTok clip featuring Perry's 2010 hit Firework alongside footage of U.S. strikes in Iran. Perry says she did not authorize that use and strongly objects to the message that's tied to the video. She says her music is intended to bring people together, not to promote conflict or warfare.
All right, one more check on that 7-day forecast in your neighborhood. Much like any other, we are feeling the heat here across Texas, especially in the coastal bend. We're right by the water, so the humidity has a vice grip on us at times. We're going to feel that more so heading into the middle of the week, even though the temperatures are going to be pretty close to where we typically expect them for this part of July. The humidity, the baking sun is going to take that up a notch. We could have our feels like temperatures locked in the triple digits for most of our daylight hour time frame. So that's where we need to check in on the kids, pets, and the elderly. Make sure that they have a way to stay cool because they tend to struggle the most. And I think the hottest day of the week is going to come either on Thursday or Friday. I chose Friday today, 97 for the afternoon high temperature. It's not our hottest temperature of 2026, but with a little more humidity, we're going to be feeling it. This heat lingers into the start of August. Yep, this weekend we begin a new month, and the weather situation didn't get the memo. We're definitely feeling like summer, but not much change as we flip the calendar.
In Nepal, advocates say cuts to U.S. foreign aid are having serious consequences for some of the country's most at-risk populations. The Blue Diamond Society is Nepal's leading LGBTQ+ advocacy group. They report close to 100 former aid workers have turned to sex work after U.S. funding cuts eliminated jobs in HIV prevention programs. Those programs once provided free condoms, HIV prevention, medication, and other outreach efforts. The society says discrimination already makes it tough for transgender people to find traditional work.
Even we have the capacity, even we have the expertise, even we have the qualified document academic qualification, they don't choose our community.
Nepal has seen a sharp decline in HIV infections over the past decade. Health officials and advocates say international aid programs played an important role. Advocates now fear, though, violence and exploitation could lead to a rise in HIV infections. State Department says the U.S. still provides more humanitarian assistance than any other country. It urges other nations to help share the burden.
And that's all the time we have for now. Thank you so much for watching Chris 6 News. Have a great one.